Well, howdy. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, it's me, Sketchy, again, coming back with another banger of a video. I know, I'm crazy. So, this is supposed to be uploaded 2 months ago, I think, or 3. I don't know. It's been some time since I've last done a recording. I recorded this like 3 months ago. I was supposed to get it done in about a week, but I got busy with life, and then I actually did the recording, but then apparently I didn't record it, like my mic wasn't on or anything, so it picked up 0 audio, and I just couldn't do it anymore because I've been taking so long just to make this one thing, so I just gave up on it. But now I'm back after 3 months of not wanting to do it, but I'm back, and I am here to, explain what I am doing today. Letting you guys know me a little bit more, or whatever. So, what I'll be doing today is showing you 3 of my characters that I often draw, and kind of explaining how I come up with the concepts of the designs, and just a little about each character themselves, and how I do my process with them, or my drawing process in general, just a little smidge of that. So today I'm going to be talking about these 3 characters, who are in fact the 3 main characters of each of their respective stories. Wow, I was able to say that in a smooth take. Awesome sauce. Yeah, but they're each character of their own respective stories, all varying in ages, personalities. They all kind of take a little bit of their personality from me, because I did create them, so a lot of them have kind of my tendencies, or just a little glimpse into my brain and stuff like that. Because they're on my mind 24/7, I tend to draw them a lot more than any other characters I work on, or any other characters that are part of their stories. So, I guess that is a reason why they're also main characters. My little hyperfixations over here. I just work on them a lot. I have a lot of care towards these characters, Obviously, they're not perfect. I'm not a good writer by any means. I don't think I have the capabilities to write a good story. I just like them. I just like doing this a lot, and I think it's really fun, and it helps me build on skills that I want to have and I want to use in the future for jobs and stuff, because I do want to make whatever the hell I do a career, because I love doing it. And if someone else can see how hard I work on these characters, or how my writing has improved because of these characters, then obviously I'm gonna draw them a lot, and they're gonna have a lot of care into them. But yeah, soon I'm gonna introduce you to each of them and just talk a little bit about them, get to know them, maybe try to think of them as people even though they don't frickin' exist. Yeah, I'll just show you a little bit more about them, their stories, just a little glimpse, a little peek, because I do want to make a bigger introduction to these characters on their own time, not just in a single video and never use them again, because I love these characters, obviously. Now, if I could get an imaginary drum roll for Chris. Woo! So this is the biggest main character that I've ever worked on. He has so much thought in him. I think I started drawing him when I was in high school. Maybe earlier, maybe middle school, but he has been around for the longest friggin' time. I love this guy. I have put so much thought into his design, so much thought into his freaking arm. And so much time to his story, yet I'm still not done with his story. it's crazy. I've barely even grasped like the first. I like if you just categorize it in a book, it'd be like building exposition. I'm still building exposition for this guy. Like he's not done. It's, but you know. Anyways, and for our second contestant, I have to you, Crimson. Woo! Name still pending. I've also worked on her for a long time. Oh, it's a her? That's crazy. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. That's the point. But yeah, I think I've worked on her the second longest, or no, not the second longest. I'm a liar. But I worked on her so much that her story is in fact finished, so I can finish the story. It's just her story's been more simple. It's, you know, it's simpler, so it's not as intricate. You know, I still care about her as much as I do Chris, but it's not as intricate as his story, and that's why it takes me forever to do his. Alrighty, and our third contestant is Eric. I think I worked with him starting high school, or like starting my like what's it called, sophomore year. He's more recent than all my other characters, I think. Well, for out of these two, I mean, his story's been more thought out. Also, about the same amount as, not the same amount as Crimson, but it's getting there. I have the beginning and the end of the story. I just need to work also that messy middle part. You know, the stuff that I gotta think about and maybe rewrite some stuff. And what you'll get to see from all of these guys is that they're very, sci-fi-ish, I guess. I mean, if you count a Western as a sci-fi, I guess that doesn't count, but, a bit more sci-fi, fantasy-esque type of stuff with my, storytelling. If you can't tell, I'm a huge fucking nerd. I'm like the nerdiest nerd. I'm currently wearing like a Back to the Future shirt. And one of my favorite series is Star Wars. Like, I draw a lot of inspiration from, the things I do and the things I've watched over the years. Like, if I'm going into like a more of a drama than anything with us a little bit of like action-y stuff, I'd look to like Scott Pilgrim, because that is also one of my favorite series. But it just, everything in my life inspires these characters and gives them life in their own little worlds. So what you're gonna be seeing now is kind of how I choose a color, a little bit more rendering. This is light rendering, by the way. I can do cooler stuff. I just choose not to because it's character design and they're simple bitches. Because I need to do them over and over again. But as you can see, I have a very simple color palette with them. I tend to use a lot of primary colors when I design my characters, just because I like them and they're the basis of all colors. I know there's QMEC, right? CMYK. I know that's a thing, but I'm going off red, blue, and yellow because they're pretty and they make my eyes want to look at them more. But, with most characters, you want to have your main character have like a very bold color, very bold shapes to, kind of see what they are, kind of represent them. I really do use yellow and red. I use red a lot because all my characters kind of are a little bit angy, if I'm gonna say it like that. But I tend to use red as a very big, strong indicator of their personalities. And just, I think it's a very vibrant color, and I think it can be interpreted in many ways, and that's why I use red a lot. Even if it's just an accent color, you know, kind of shows what the character is, who the character is. Yeah, and if you can tell, I like using mute colors, or, you know, not super vibrant colors, because I just think it's pleasing in the eyes and isn't tasking, and that's not what I want you to look at. I don't want you to look at my characters and be like, it burns my freaking eyes. I want you to look at them and be like, oh, you know, I can see them and I can keep looking at them for like maybe 50 pages or whatever. Yeah. What I'm saying is that I like making my characters the primary colors because, you know, they're primarily the main character or whatever. Obviously I don't just use red, blue, and yellow for everything. I have variety, and I want to implement more variety into my main characters. I just am very used to having like characters who have color palettes, very distinct color palettes to, like, you know, who they are and what they are. Like, let's say Power Rangers, you know, just a single color. Or if you were to look at, let's say, maybe Thundercats, they all have like very distinct colors, but they have their, you know, main primary colors. And, you know, a lot of shows in the 80s really used yellow, blues, greens just to distinguish the colors. Like, look at Wolverine. He's just a big yellow dude with some blue accents. Right? I'm trying to diverge away from that, though, because I do want to add more color into my characters and make them not seem repetitive. Because if they're repetitive, then they're basically just like everybody else. And that's not what I want. So, you know, maybe later on I'll have more interesting stories with different color palettes and who are more inviting than a harsh, bold yellow. And red. A lot of red. And maybe sometimes blue. Oh my god, wasn't I supposed to talk about their personalities and who they are? Why, yes, you're right. You? So I'll just briefly talk about them. You know, their personality-wise, or whatever. So Chris comes from a futuristic kind of world, like a cyberpunk-esque. Yeah, a very cyberpunk world. I was really into cyberpunk when I made him, so obviously he, like, not the anime, just like the aesthetic. I think cyberpunk's really cool. And I was doing stuff with my friends that involved cyberpunk, so I guess that's why he came about. When I was like making him, before he even came out, he didn't even look like this. He didn't resemble this at all. He doesn't even have the same name as he used to have, right? He just kind of came from other mix of other characters I made. But he's like in a cyberpunk world. He's a very happy-go-lucky guy. You can tell from his personality. He's pretty athletic, has very loose-fitting clothing to kind of like convey that and stuff. But he's a very happy guy in a world that I will not describe because plot. Alright, moving on to Crimson. She is in a very Western world. I got really into Westerns. I still need to do more research about Westerns because honestly, I might be from Texas, but I don't know shit about Westerns. I know a little bit from like Red Dead Redemption and a little bit of history that I like reading because I'm a nerd, a bigger nerd than I already was. But, you know, she's more in a Western, and her story is more of a romance, because that's just fun and yippee, you know? Now, I'll introduce to you Eric again, and his story is also more sci-fi. Think of Independence Day, but with less military and Will Smith. He's in a kind of Arctic apocalypse, like 2012. I love that movie, by the way. if you can't tell, but it's more of an Arctic freeze of an apocalypse, and I thought it was an interesting concept because it's never been done before. So that's him, and you can see him holding his little torch and stuff, kind of give him an environment and background, kind of to set them place a little later in the video. But that's just a tiny little introduction to them, and yeah. Now I'll leave you to 3 minutes of peace without me yapping your fucking ear off. I have Instagram, by the way. It's at sketchyrhino. Sketchy.rhino. The name is Rhino Alpaca. If you want to go follow me, I post more cool stuff on there. Drawing stuff. I don't post as frequent as like here, but I will post more than I do here. So, consistency is key. Anyways, I'll shut up now, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of my video. And I really do hope you liked it. Hope to see you guys again, or see anybody new again. Thanks for watching. You're cool. Have a good day.